We're going to look into Open Design, which is very similar to Claude Design, which is a tool that dropped just a few weeks ago, and people were claiming that it actually killed Figma, but actually it used a lot of tokens to where you weren't able to do a lot in a single session, and you were constantly hitting rate limits. So we're going to look at this open source version of it. We're going to look over Watch, which is something that I actually use for my own content creation and helps us create videos and get the most important things about them without having to actually watch the video. So first, we're going to be looking at Caveman, which is a way to reduce the amount of output tokens that you get from Claude Code whenever you send a request, whenever you ask them for a task. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I'm working on something that's not that complex, sometimes the output that I get from Claude is very long and I don't have time to read it. And when I read it, I realize that a lot of this is just fluff. It's just a bunch of filler words. So Caveman is an open source tool that's going to allow you to reduce the amount of output tokens that you get without losing the context. It's a Claude Code skill or plugin that makes agent talk like a caveman. And what this means is that it cuts 75% of outputs token by keeping full technical accuracy, meaning that the brain is still big, but the mouth is small. And here we can see some examples. This is an output that you would usually get from Claude Code explaining something that it just did. While if you use Caveman, this is what you would get. Something a little bit more technical. If you're technical, there's different modes that you can set Caveman into depending on how much output you actually want. But we can see that the cut is pretty big from 69 tokens to 19 tokens. So token saves are 75%, technical accuracy still at 100%. Less tokens also means that you're going to receive the response much faster. So the speed increased by 3 times. The way to install it is that you can paste these commands into the project in the terminal that you're working on, or you can simply just grab the link, give it to Claude Code, and say to enable Caveman mode on. And like I said, there's different levels. So there's level light, full, ultra, and Wenyan, which is basically Chinese. Depending on the kind of project that you're working, you might want to play around with these different modes and see what makes the most sense to you. If you're, like I said, if you're working on something super technical and you're someone who's technical and understands code, you don't need to hear all the fluff or like Claude Code explaining a small little change on your code base. Well, you just need to see the line of code. That's what Caveman is for. It's going to make it much faster, and it's also going to save your usage. So in a nutshell, it works in 30+ agents, including Claude Code and Codex, 4 models, light, full, ultra, and Wenyan, and tracks lifetime savings, how many dollars you've saved while using this plugin.